Flutter CTO survey interviews, powered by LeanCode. Let's build great apps together.
Hi everyone, hi Martin, welcome. It's great that we can see each other at Google I/O. How are you doing so far?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks for asking.
Also excited about?
Yeah, getting used to the sun. I got a little bit sunburn yesterday.
Right, so have we. We are in the amphitheater, which is right behind us during the keynote, initially enjoying the sunlight, but later on suffering from sunburns. Good, so since we know each other for like ages, I think it dates back to the Flutter Europe event and even before that. Yeah. You as Codemagic, as a founder, you are for a long time in this community. What's your take on the Flutter development for all those ages, right?
Mm-hmm. I remember when Flutter was announced because we were there and we got to announce Codemagic together with Flutter 1.0. And
that was in New York, right?
That was in London, yes.
Oh, in London during this. Okay, this is Flutter London.
Back then I wasn't CEO, and my job was to help bring Codemagic to market. So then I got to hang out with all the early community people. And even though Flutter 1.0 was like overdue, it was already available to use, already in beta, but finding like events to go to, or finding like meetups and community activity, it was not so big yet. So that is a very big change that has happened. Today, Flutter is the most popular open source framework on the market today. So this is a huge difference. Now you can go out and you're interested in it and you can find like a meetup anywhere near you. So that is one thing that was cool, and with that also come conferences and things that you can also attend. So I like that the community is a lot bigger. And second thing is that Flutter was a Google product, but today it is a community product because if you look at the top contributors to Flutter, they are not Googlers anymore. And actually, Taha, who works with us at Codemagic, he is the top contributor.
Yes, he's a perfect example for that, right?
Yes. And this is, you wouldn't think about it like this, like, okay, Google is the one that created it, but we are the one that are building it. So that is the biggest change, I think. The community has grown a lot, and you can see it both in the contributions as well as the events and the materials that were made available to learn Flutter. Yeah.
Right, I think this is definitely something special about the Flutter ecosystem as well. And how about the business side of Flutter? Like you are like the provider of the leading CI/CD tool on the market for the Flutter apps. From your perspective, how is the Flutter usage been growing so far?
Because Flutter is so popular now, there are also competitors to us. So previously, yes, we were the leading tool, and in many ways we still are, but it is very difficult to compete with, for example, GitHub Actions. As Flutter is getting more and more popular, people apart from us also see this opportunity in Flutter, and so now they are putting us to the test to be more innovative, because it is more and more difficult for us to be competitive. But it's a good thing, because now it means that customers who are using Codemagic now get even better product, because we are forced to innovate and forced to make the product more stable, make the docs better, support everything what Flutter supports. So the biggest change for us is, there's a lot more competition today, and this is good for people looking to get into Flutter.
Definitely, it's not the blue ocean any longer, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's no better place to understand the world competition than being here at the Bay, right?
Yeah.
Telling about this competitive environment, what's the sweet spot for you? Like, what kind of clients do you feel you attract the most? What is like the perfect combination, perfect setup, perfect requirements when you feel like the Codemagic does its best job to the client? So, whom are you targeting in general?
Codemagic does not have a marketing team. So
Surprisingly, right? Because
Yes.
like everywhere, all conferences.
Yeah,
great
we do
articles,
have
right?
we do have some salespeople in the company which we recently started, but we are still growing, right?
Mhm.
And so then it begs the question why, and it's because people in the community are recommending us, and I feel like Codemagic today it's most used by small businesses and indie developers. That's by far our biggest user base. So people who are new to Flutter or who are new to CI/CD, they are finding us, and we are the easiest product to use on the market.
Right.
But so I think that is our bread and butter. But obviously, as we've been around for so long, then those companies grow into bigger companies where they start small but they grow, and what maybe started as a small startup is now a billion-dollar company. So there are still
So demand from their side is growing, and
yeah,
therefore your business with
so
them is growing.
we started small,
Okay.
but over time we have started to attract bigger companies as well. But when we think about our customers, we try to still consider this person who we are starting to serve, to make sure that we are serving this core audience well.
Right, right. And speaking about the market, like today we also both attended the keynote for what's new in Flutter. There was the announcement of Flutter WebAssembly official stable support. So we see that as the core feature, the core value of Flutter, which is portability, is indeed live right there. So the web is capabilities of the web are growing, etc. From your perspective, from your customer's perspective, do you already observe that the Flutter is used not only to deploy iOS, Android apps, but also desktop apps and web applications?
Yeah, it is. The best example, I think, is they mentioned this company Superlist as well, and today's what's new in Flutter announcement for the web. And Superlist actually uses also Codemagic to deploy to desktop, web, and so. But comparing that to mobile, it's not possible, because mobile is still by far the most popular. Both Android and iOS are the most popular platforms to deploy your apps to with Flutter. Web is growing in popularity, desktop is behind, but there are people who are using it, yes, who are trying it.
Right. Great to hear. So that you're also having those clients. And from your perspective, because you are like being present in the community, you're also betting on Flutter, on its growth and growing popularity. How do you feel like, what are like currently the major obstacles, major challenges for the Flutter that could be overcome in the future?
I think Flutter suffers from a branding problem. Technically there is very little that you can't do with Flutter. It's a very good tool to create beautiful applications that run on any screen, but the branding is still a problem. So if you try to convince somebody who has been building Android apps for half his life to now start to learn Dart, no matter how natively you compile it or how good those developer tools are, it is very hard to convince them to try something new. And same goes for trying to convince iOS developers to adopt Flutter. It's almost like a religion.
That could be even harder. Right.
Maybe, but it is almost like religious, you know. So how do you go from being maybe a Catholic to being now Orthodox?
Right.
So it's
Yes, the brand association is so strong that they can.
yes. So people are devoted a lot of their lives into learning like a technology, and they want to continue using it. So doesn't matter what how many features we add to Flutter or how what we can make it capable of doing. I feel like it's yeah, that's the biggest issue that I have seen is just this branding thing, that it is a multi-platform toolkit, and some people just don't like it.
Right, for that reason.
So trying to convince them otherwise will be the biggest challenge, I think.
Great. Thank you. So thank you for joining us here. Thank you for a great discussion. And I think we're gonna visit each other a lot during this conference season. So I'm glad we could have this interview. Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
And good luck.
Cheers.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Build your next project with us. Schedule a free 30 minutes consultation.